prior to actually building your plan, it is important that you actually go into the scaffold and actually go into the setup to set up the main parameters for your drawing. This includes the general bays sizes that you're going to use, the height of your scaffold, that is the top lift height, whether you want the standards to be staggered, the handrails, whether you have a global handrail for every lift and a global mid-rail for every lift, the number of decks, you can just specify every level or individual levels, and the side brackets or hop-up sizes that you want. These are just defaults. You don't have to keep these settings right through your whole drawing, but it's best to set this up at the beginning. You can also choose roof protection and handrails in terms of the number of nodes you want the outside handrail to go to at the very top. The deck types can be steel, wood, or whatever you define. All these options you see here in terms of the bay sizes are all dependent on your scaffold system. So these dimensions can vary in terms of the lengths and widths of all your components can vary depending on your scaffold system, whether it be quick stage, cup lock, layer, or any type of ring lock system. If I just click OK, I can now lay out the bays by going back to build plan. From here I can do a number of bits of editing. I can, for example, change bays around. So I can just select this option here on the toolbar and replace the bay. So I can change this to a 1.2 bay, and then I can add a bay. So just simply add, click on the toolbar, click on the bay size we want to add, and add that in. We can also make a wall anywhere we like. That is a scaffold wall. So if we just click on new wall, specify the width of the wall, and just basically create a wall anywhere we like. So there is ultimate flexibility in what you can do with laying out the bays. As well as that, you can change the heights of the walls. There's pretty much nothing you can't do with this system. What I'm going to do is I'm going to now add a ladder tower. So just click on that toolbar option. We add the ladder tower to whatever dimension we want. It can be an internal or an external ladder tower. And I'm going to now add a stair unit. I can choose to delete some of this bracing if I don't want the bracing. So that's the delete option right there. I can right click to actually repeat the last command. So that's what I'm doing in terms of deleting those things there. And I can also add a section marker. So basically I can just click on a particular bay anywhere I like and add a section marker. Now this section marker will be used later on for when we actually generate our final plot. What I'm going to do now is build 3D. Again, clicking on the toolbar option here, clicking yes. So what's happening now is that the system is actually building all the 3D components and building a true 3D model of the scaffold for you to view in 3D and generate a parts list or a bill of materials. The build 3D is now complete. We can now view the 3D model just by simply scrolling the mouse and viewing from any angle that we like. So we can actually rotate this in any direction. We can generate our bill of materials by clicking on the piece of paper. If we click on quote, we have our full bill of materials. We have all the components with the quantity, weight, total amount, and you can see at the top there we also have linear meterage, the area and the volume with grand totals at the very bottom. We can professionally lay out this drawing on a title block in a drawing sheet. So we can select our paper size, whether it be A2, A3, A4. I'm just going to select A4. We specify plot setup. We lay out the drawing sheet. Your company logo can be customized to appear on the drawing sheet along with your title block. Put in the project details, drawing number, you can put in the scale and who drew the drawing. These are your custom company logo or custom title block information that you can put in. We've got templates already predefined. If we click that, we basically, if we zoom into an area, we can actually see there we have our title block in there with our company logo. Back to the plot setup, I can now insert our plan drawing. Let's just make it a 1 to 200 scale. Like that. The actual section marker that we created has automatically been created so that we can actually add the section in. So if we insert the section, see there the section is automatically created, and that section is based on that marker that we created earlier, section A. Then we can actually put our 3D drawing on this sheet as well by creating a view. And this view can be anywhere we like, so we can actually go in there and we can pretty much zoom in to any particular area or scroll around on any angle that we actually like, just like we did before. Like that. And we can create another view of the 3D. So let's create another view. Like that. And again, by just holding down the mouse wheel, we can actually rotate this any direction we like. So I'm just scrolling that around, and let's just make it at a lower angle. Pretty much anywhere we want. And here is our example of our final drawing. We can actually move things. And if we want to, we can manually label our drawing. So we can type in whatever text we want. And of course we can change the color and the font. So here we have the final drawing on our A4 page. We can always go back to our model page to go back to our main drawing. And what I want to quickly show you is how accurate our parts list actually is. We'll actually work towards customizing the system so that your scaffold design system will generate an accurate parts list, because we understand that different companies in different regions with different manufacturers of scaffold can have different types of parts and different methods of doing things. The way we customize the system to suit what you need is that we can actually go and interrogate right down to the individual piece level. So if we zoom into a particular area, and for example, you may decide that you want to use a certain type of transom different to the normal component used in this area. When we actually run the actual quotation, as I showed you before, if we actually press enter, we actually get the full parts list. As you can see there, we have 2,696 parts. So if I click on our quote button to generate the material list, I can actually window individual items to get an accurate measure of any set of items that I select. So for example, if I just created a window around those two ledges, and if I manually selected that upright and I right click, we basically have a material list for just that window. So if you were to think that our system was not generating an accurate parts list, you can always look at the 3D drawing and say, oh, okay, this area we need these components, and this other area we may need these other components. And that way, that's how we go about customizing things. A good way of illustrating this is if I swing around to have a look at this ladder tower. There's our ladder right there. So you can see there, we've got two ladders there. So I can then interrogate that by clicking on the quote, selecting the ladder, and that tells us that that is a 5.4 meter ladder with 2 double couplers. If I do the same thing and I select the ladder below, let's actually zoom around a bit more so we can see it a bit clearer. That's better. So zoom in there. So if I select the bottom ladder, we see that that's a 3.6 meter ladder with 2 double couplers. So that's how we interrogate the individual parts of the drawing to make sure that the system is doing what we want it to do. So this basically concludes our overview of the system. If you become a client of ours, we'll give you full access to the rest of the tutorials on our secure website. Thanks for watching.